Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. Who will be the first to face Demetrius Andrade, Canelo Alvarez, or Triple G? And we recently did a poll on this, and closer to 80% of the people, over almost 1,000, votes have been tallied, and Canelo Alvarez is the overwhelming favorite, about 80% to face Demetrius Andrade first. Both of these guys have a lot of good reason to face Demetrius Andrade. Canelo Alvarez could become an undisputed world champion by facing a Demetrius Andrade, have another top fighter on his resume, another undefeated fighter. Canelo Alvarez would do fantastic and has great reason to face Demetrius Andrade next. But Triple G also has great reason. If you look at it, if Canelo Alvarez ends up moving up in weight like he speculated to face Callum Smith at 168 for a full belt, or face Sergey Kovalev, which is also speculated by DAZN, then either way, Canelo Alvarez has a big fight, a huge payday, and an interesting legacy fight no matter who he faces. Triple G doesn't have that. Triple G, if he doesn't face Canelo Alvarez next, who is in his corner to face? It doesn't make any sense for Triple G to face Danny Jacobs in a rematch at this point, with Danny Jacobs coming off a loss and no belt. That's no incentive for Triple G to face him. Demetrius Andrade would be the most likely opponent, and he would be the best opponent. You have to understand that Demetrius Andrade is undefeated, has a world title, is a world champion at 54 and 60, and Demetrius Andrade has a great style that will make it extremely hard for Triple G, because he's very elusive, very crafty, and he does have a lot of pop in his shot. So it would be very interesting to see exactly what level Demetrius Andrade is on and how much Triple G is improving under his new trainer. So in my opinion, who will be the first to face Demetrius Andrade? I honestly think at this point that I think it'll be Canelo Alvarez, but I could definitely see it being Triple G if Canelo faces, Callum Smith. Demetrius Andrade's called out both of these guys, and I think that Triple G and Demetrius Andrade should either be next, just for the simple fact that, hey, these guys need to get it on in the winner face Canelo Alvarez. I think that would be much more intriguing. It'll build Demetrius Andrade, it'll build Triple G, and it'll build any potential Canelo fight. That's just my opinion. But I think it ultimately depends on who Canelo Alvarez chooses to fight next, because if Canelo picks Demetrius Andrade, then obviously that has to happen. Demetrius Andrade is not turning that down. But let's get into a few comments. We have 2015. He comes out and states both are champs. Canelo is the bigger payday, and Canelo's camps want all the belts at 160. That makes perfect sense. The next comment comes from Luis Contreras. He states, I used to think Triple G was good, but can't keep fighting tomato cans. Canelo is right. If he wants another fight, he needs to get a belt. You're absolutely right. It's one thing for Triple G to fight, lower tier opponents on a bounce back win. But if Canelo doesn't pick him, we don't want to see any more Steve Rolls. We don't want to see any more, Vanes Martirosyan. We want to see better competition. But let's keep it going. The next one comes from Gambino Sanchez. He says Triple Giggles is all about fighting low-class fighters, punching bags so he can look good. El Numero Uno Soto says because Triple G be cherry-picking. Sarah Cordoza says Little G don't fight competition. It looks like the theme here is that Triple G is fighting such low competition. He's not fighting guys ranked in the top 10. He's fighting guys for easy showcase knockouts. And, I'm a big fan of Triple G. I think he's a very good elite level talent. But we do need to see Triple G step his game up to give us more interesting fights and not just simply fighting for the sake of getting a massive payday with Canelo Alvarez. Andrew Schwab says Triple G only fights Uber drivers or Canelo. Triple G won't fight Andrade. That makes sense. It's starting to look like Triple G is averse to risk-taking. He's not really trying to take any real risks. Angel Figueroa says Canelo to become undisputed champ. Little G don't deserve a third big paycheck if he doesn't have a belt. And that makes a lot of sense. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Let's keep it going. The Windy City said Andrade first has to get past Sulecki, who might beat him, because Andrade is a fake champion that ain't fought any real fighters. And I'll give you that. Andrade hasn't fought any top level fighters, but I think that Andrade has showcased enough skills to get the benefit of the doubt to be better than a level of Sulecki, who was beat by Danny Jacobs thoroughly and who was dropped in the 12th round of that fight. I just think that Demetrius Andrade is a better class of fighter who's already proven at 154, who's won a world title, and who's won a world title at 160. His resume is better than Sulecki's for a reason, but I do think that this will be a very telling fight for Demetrius Andrade and exactly what level he's on. Ultimately, we must see Triple G face better competition. Fighting lower tier competition and waiting for Canelo is not the way to to get your Hall of Fame ticket punch, he must face better competition. And to get that trilogy with Canelo, you need to get a belt. And Demetrius Andrade is the best route to do so. Once again, Unbiased as always, is the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.